Hi, everyone, and welcome to English Go, the podcast for learners who want to improve their English.
That's right. I'm Lily.
And I'm Roy. It's great to have you with us today.
Yeah, we're really happy you're tuning in.
So, Lily, what are we talking about today?
Well, Roy, today we're going to talk about something that can make everyone feel good.
Oh, that sounds nice. What is it?
We're talking about compliments, how to give them and how to receive them in English.
Ah, compliments. That's a really useful topic.
It is. Giving and receiving compliments is a big part of daily conversation.
But sometimes it can be a bit tricky, especially for English learners.
Exactly. You might not know what to say or how to react.
Or you might worry about sounding natural.
Yes, all of those things. So we want to help make it easier.
Great idea, because compliments are important, aren't they?
They really are. They can make someone's day.
And they help build good relationships with people.
Definitely. A nice word can go a long way.
So let's start with giving compliments. How do we do that effectively?
Well, first, it's good to be sincere. Mean what you say,
That's key. People can usually tell if you're not being genuine.
if they can. So find something you genuinely like or appreciate.
Okay, so what kind of things can we compliment?
Ooh, lots of things. You can compliment someone's appearance, for example.
Like, I like your shirt. Is that a good one?
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Simple and clear.
Or your hair looks nice today, perhaps?
Exactly. People appreciate those kinds of comments.
What about skills or abilities?
Yes, definitely. Like if someone gives a good presentation,
You could say that was a great presentation, right?
perfect word. You're a really good speaker.
Oh, I like that one. You're a great cook if they made you dinner.
Yes, people love hearing that, especially after they've put in effort.
And what about possessions? Like, if someone has a new phone,
Sure, you could say, that's a nice phone, or I like your new bag.
so I like your name is a really useful phrase.
It really is. Or like, that's a lovely dress.
That's a cool bike, for example.
Precisely. Another good area is someone's personality or character.
How would you phrase that? That sounds a bit more advanced.
It can be simple, though. You're very kind, or you're so helpful.
Ah, okay. You always have great ideas. Something like that?
Yes, it's a wonderful compliment. It shows you notice their positive qualities.
And it's good to be specific, isn't
It
it?
is. Instead of just good job, you could say, good job on finishing that report so quickly.
Right. It makes the compliment feel more thoughtful.
It does. It shows you're paying attention.
For instance, if a friend helps you move,
You could say, thanks so much for your help. I really appreciate it. You made it so much easier.
that's much better than just thanks.
Yeah, it makes the other person feel really valued.
Now, what about the tone? How should we sound?
Mm. Um, well, friendly and sincere. Your voice should match your words.
So, not too flat, not too over the top, excited.
Exactly. Just natural and warm.
Got it. Are there any things we should avoid when giving compliments?
Good question. Maybe don't overdo it.
You mean like giving too many compliments all at once?
Yeah, it might sound insincere then.
Really makes sense. Once or twice is probably enough at one time,
I think so. Also, be careful with very personal comments,
especially if you don't know the person very well.
right? Stick to more general things like clothes or work.
So, commenting on someone's weight, for example, might be risky.
Yes, definitely best to avoid that unless you're very close friends and know it's okay.
Good advice. It's about being respectful.
Always. And genuine. If you don't mean it, it's better not to say it.
True, an insincere compliment can feel worse than no compliment.
I agree. So let's practice a few phrases. What if I'm wearing a new jacket?
I could say, "Hey, Lily, I really like your new jacket."
That's perfect. And what if I helped you with an English exercise?
I might say, "Thanks, Lily. You explained things so clearly. That was really helpful."
Thank you, Roy. See, it feels nice.
It does. Okay, so that's giving compliments. Now, what about receiving them?
Ah, yes. This can be tricky for many people, not just English learners.
Why do you think that is?
Well, sometimes people feel shy or they don't know how to react.
Or they feel like they are boasting if they agree.
Exactly. But in most English speaking cultures, It's polite to accept a compliment gracefully.
So, what's the simplest way to respond?
Just say thank you. That's always a good response.
Thank you. Easy enough.
Easy enough. You can also add a little more like, thank you. I appreciate that.
Or, that's very kind of you to say.
Yes, that's a lovely one. It sounds polite and um, warm.
What if someone compliments something you're wearing, like my new watch?
If they say, nice watch, Roy, you could say, thanks. I just got it.
Or, thank you. It was a gift.
Perfect. You're acknowledging the compliment and sometimes adding a little extra information.
What if it's about a skill? Like, you play the guitar so well,
You could say, thanks. I've been practicing a lot.
or thank you. I enjoy playing.
Both are great. It shows you appreciate their words.
Now, here's something I've noticed. Some people deflect compliments.
What do you mean by deflect?
Like if I say, your drawing is amazing, they might say, oh, it's not that good.
Ah, yes, that happens. People sometimes feel uncomfortable accepting praise directly.
Is that okay to do in English?
It's common, but sometimes it can make the person giving the compliment feel a bit awkward.
Oh, really? Why's that?
Well, if you deny the compliment, it's like you're saying their opinion is wrong.
I never thought of it that way. So if someone says this cake is delicious, I shouldn't say, oh, it's a bit dry, actually.
Exactly. It's better to just say, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
That makes sense. So accept it graciously.
Yes. Even if you feel a little shy, a simple thank you is best.
What about the phrase, oh, this old thing? If someone compliments your clothes,
Now, that's a classic example of deflecting. It's a bit of a cultural trope.
so maybe not the best response for learners.
Perhaps not. It can be a bit self deprecating, which means putting yourself down.
And it might be confusing for the person who gave the compliment.
It could be. Simpler is often better. Thanks, I got it on sale.
Okay, that's clear. So a smile and a thank you is a safe bet.
Definitely. Eye contact is good too, if you feel comfortable.
Shows you've received and appreciated the comment.
Exactly. It's all about polite acknowledgement.
What if someone gives you a compliment and you want to give one back?
That can be nice. It's called returning a compliment.
How do you do that naturally?
You could say, thank you. That's so nice of you. I like your.
For example, if someone says, I love your new haircut, Roy,
You could say, thanks, Lily. Hey, your scarf is really nice too.
but you don't have to return a compliment every time, do you?
No, not at all. Only if it feels natural and you genuinely have something nice to say.
Otherwise, it might sound forced.
Precisely. The main thing is to accept the compliment you received warmly.
So let's review receiving. Someone says, you speak English very well.
You could say, thank you. I'm still learning, but I appreciate that.
That's a good one. It's honest, but still accepts the compliment.
Or thank you. That's encouraging to hear.
I like that. It shows it means something to you.
What if they say, your garden looks beautiful?
Oh, thank you. I spend a lot of time working on it.
Perfect response. You're accepting the praise and sharing a bit about your effort.
It feels much better than saying, oh, the weeds are terrible.
It does, doesn't it? It keeps the positive feeling going.
So for English learners, what's the takeaway for receiving compliments?
Keep it simple, say thank you, and smile.
And try not to deny it or put yourself down.
Exactly. Accept it with grace.
This is really helpful, Lily. I think many learners will appreciate these tips.
I hope so. Compliments are meant to be positive exchanges.
And knowing how to handle them can make social situations much smoother.
Definitely. It can boost your confidence too.
When you give a compliment and someone appreciates it, that feels good.
And when you receive one and know how to respond, you feel more comfortable.
It's a win-win situation, really.
It is. Any other common phrases for giving compliments we should mention?
Maybe something like, you did a fantastic job on that project.
Oh, yes. Using strong positive adjectives like fantastic, amazing, wonderful.
Your presentation was excellent.
This food is delicious.
You have a great sense of humor.
Those are all wonderful examples. They are specific and positive.
And for receiving, beyond thank you?
That's nice of you to say, or I'm glad you think so.
Oh, you made my day. Could that work if it's a really nice compliment?
Yes, absolutely. If you feel that way, it's a lovely response.
It shows the impact of their words.
It does. It's very positive.
What about cultural differences? Are compliments handled the same way everywhere?
That's a big question. There can be differences.
For example,
Hmm. Well, in some cultures, being too direct with praise might be less common, or people might be more modest in their replies by default.
so our advice is mainly for typical English speaking environments like the US.
Yes, generally, but even within those, there can be small variations.
So it's always good to observe how people around you interact
Exactly. Pay attention to how native speakers give and receive compliments.
and adapt as you learn more about the specific culture you're in.
Yeah, that's always a good approach for language learning in general.
True. So to recap giving compliments, be sincere, be specific if you can, and use a friendly tone.
And some useful phrases are, I like your, that's a great, you're very
You did a good job with.
perfect. And for receiving compliments, say thank you, smile, and accept it gracefully.
Avoid denying the compliment too much.
Right. Simple responses like thanks, I appreciate it, or that's kind of you work well.
I feel more confident about compliments already.
That's great to hear, Roy. Practice is the key.
So maybe our listeners can try to give 1 or 2 compliments this week.
That's a fantastic idea. Notice something you genuinely appreciate about someone and tell them.
And if they receive a compliment, they can practice their new responses.
Exactly. It might feel a little strange at first, but it gets easier.
Like any new skill, the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Totally. And it really can brighten someone's day and yours too.
A small act of kindness.
It is. And it helps build those positive connections we talked about.
Any final tips or thoughts, Lily?
I think just remember that compliments are generally welcome. People like to hear nice things
As long as they are genuine,
always. And for learners, don't worry too much about making a mistake.
that's a good point. People are usually understanding.
They are. Just trying is what counts.
And it's a great way to practice your English in a real life situation.
Absolutely. It makes language learning more interactive and fun.
So, everyone, go out there and spread some positive words.
And be ready to accept them too.
I think this has been a really useful discussion.
I hope our listeners think so too.
Remember, you can find more resources and transcripts on our website.
And feel free to send us your questions or topic suggestions.
We love hearing from you.
We really do. It helps us make the podcast better.
So, to quickly go over it one last time, giving compliments shows you notice and appreciate others,
Use simple phrases like, I like your dress or great job.
and mean it when you say it.
When you receive a compliment, a simple thank you is perfect.
You can add, that's kind of you, or I appreciate that.
Try to accept it gracefully, even if you feel a bit shy.
It's all about making those connections and sharing positive feelings.
Yeah, and using your English in a really nice way.
Compliments can be a small thing, but they can have a big impact.
So true. They can really make a difference in someone's day.
And in your own, as you practice and get more comfortable.
Don't be afraid to try. Every little bit of practice helps.
Even if it's just complimenting a classmate on their notes,
Or a colleague on their help with a task.
small, everyday situations are perfect for practice.
They are, and you'll see how people respond positively.
It can be quite rewarding.
Very. It builds confidence in your language skills and social skills.
So, the challenge for this week is to give a sincere compliment.
And to receive any compliments with a smile and a thank you.
Let us know how it goes.
We'd love to hear your experiences.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's episode.
It went by quickly, didn't it?
It did. We hope you found it helpful and feel more prepared to give and receive compliments in English.
Remember, practice makes progress. Keep up the great work with your English learning.
And don't forget to be kind to yourself and others.
That's a wonderful note to end on, Roy.
Thanks, Lily. And thanks to all our listeners for joining us.
We'll be back soon with another episode of English Go.
Until then, take care and happy complimenting.
Bye for now.